Well or Mrs. Well, and I teach 9th grade global history or world history at Durkee Junior High School in Baldwinsville, New York, which is a town outside of the city of Syracuse, which is 4 hours away from New York City. So we're not close to New York City, even though people hear New York and think, oh, New York City, but there's a state of New York. I'm not sure if you have like provinces or territories in Croatia, but the United States is broken up into different states or sections, and so we're a part of New York State. Before my students go ahead and answer some of your questions, I just thought that I would explain what our school district looks like and what our school building looks like. So I work at the junior high school, which is 8th graders and 9th graders. So because of the population and the amount of students that we have in our district, or our group, our area for the school, we have 8th and 9th grade together, which is a little bit odd because 9th grade is the first year of high school, so technically they belong up with the high school, but there's not enough room up there. So we have 8th and 9th grade together in our junior high, and then our high school is 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. Then you have a middle school, which is 6th and 7th grade, and then we have 5 elementary schools, which are kindergarten through 5th grade. So I kind of went backwards there, but we have 5 elementary schools, kindergarten through 5th grade, and then we have 6th and 7th grade in our middle school. Then we have our junior high, which is 8th and 9th grade, which I teach at right now. And then we have our high school, which is 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. So you start high school in 9th grade as far as like getting credits or being counted as a high school student, but you don't start high school in the building until you're a sophomore or you're in 10th grade. Now we also call our high school students freshman for 9th grade, sophomore for 10th grade, junior for 11th grade, and senior for 12th grade. It's a little bit confusing if you're not in the American system because it just sounds like we're giving names to other names, which is essentially what it is. I don't really know the reasoning behind it. But that's also how you refer to people in college as well. You refer to somebody in the American school system, somebody who is a first-year college student as a freshman, a second as a sophomore, a third-year college student as a junior, and a fourth-year college student is considered a senior. So, I don't know, maybe that has something to do with it. I'm not sure. So that's what our building and that's our makeup is. So I'm going to have my students answer some of your questions, and I'm also going to explain some of them too because I can do a better job of explaining it than they can. We started on September 6th and we go all the way until June 21st this year. Now, if you're a high school student, you actually stop on this date, on June 11th, and these weeks, this green right here, is for regents or state tests. So New York State requires these tests at the end of the year in high school called regents exams. They're statewide exams. Every single high school student that's taking that course takes that test. So you only come back on these days when you have that test. And you need to pass that test in order to graduate. So we start here, end here. Now we have certain holidays off, but our big holidays is we get Thanksgiving off, which is the American holiday Thanksgiving. So we get the Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday off. We had a week off for Christmas and New Year's Eve. Then we have a week off in February, and then we have our spring break, which is a week, which is coming up in a few weeks, or next week when you guys watch this video. We have a spring break here. And then we have Memorial Day off, which is a day to remember the people who have died fighting in our armed services or in our army and military. And and then we end school here. And so then we start our official day of our summer break starts on June 25th. So we really only get 2 months and 2 weeks off a year. So we have a little bit of a short summer. People like to say that we have 3 months off for summer, but technically we go until the end of June. So we really only have all of July and all of August off. Now, what classes students take is very different. So these are called core classes, or classes that students have to take according to New York State law. And then these are extracurricular activities or extra classes. And so this is what a schedule would look like. So your core classes are going to be all year round, while some of these classes might be a half year. Some art classes and technology classes are a full year, But so a student would have English, science, study hall, and then in the spring semester it would switch and then they would take a half of year of health instead. So English, science, study hall, art, then lunch, then go to their foreign language. I did Spanish, then global, which is history, math, and then music. And then in the spring semester, most of it would stay the same. Their core classes would stay the same, but then they might switch out for some electives. And that is just kind of what a schedule looks like in New York State.
There's 8 periods of the day that are class periods, and then we have 1 lunch period every day, so that's 9 periods a day. There's physical education, which you take both years that you're here. We have math, which when you're in 9th grade, you can either take geometry or algebra. We have English. We also have honors English that is available. We have
What's honors English?
Honors English is a more advanced version of English. You write more papers, and you'll be reading more advanced stuff. And foreign languages, you have Spanish, French, German, and Latin.
And how many foreign languages do you take?
You can take 1. And science, you will have biology, earth science, and you can take an extracurricular one, which is called biomed.
Which is about what?
It is about, we'll be solving the death of this woman named Anna Garcia. And we talk.
She's not a real person. She's like a fake person.
Yeah, she's a fake person. And you'll be learning about diabetes and health conditions and stuff like that. We have social studies, like history 8 and global, but we also have AP, pre-AP global, which is technically a college course. And you write a lot in there, and you take a lot of work in doing it. You have music. You will have chorus, band, and orchestra, and you can also have practical musicianship, which is you learn how to play the guitar and piano, and you can compose things. And you have technology, which is robotics, Tech 8, and Tech 9, and you can also take health.
So during our lunch periods, kids can come down into the museum and play games. Hi! Hi! And they also can sit right here and get their lunch, so they can come and play. Alright, so this is our lunchroom. Kids come and eat. You can hear me. Come here. And say hi.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Okay.
We have very many sports in our school. We have football,
baseball, basketball,
soccer, hockey,
crew, tennis,
and then girls lacrosse, soccer,
boys lacrosse, all kinds of sports.
basketball, girls basketball,
So every sport has a boy team and a girl team,
except for field hockey, which is only for girls.
and then wrestling's only
Hockey,
for
they
boys.
just have
Yes.
for guys.
But girls can play on the hockey team.
Yeah,
Correct.
and guys can play on the girls' field hockey team too.
Oh, right. Can anyone try out?
Yeah, anyone can try out, but for some sports there's cuts because there's like a player limit that you're allowed to have.
Do sports cost anything?
Some sports cost more than others, but most of them are paid for by the school and other stuff like that. But other stuff like equipment you need to buy yourself.
Do your teachers carry weapons?
No. Well, what do you count as a weapon?
Do we carry weapons? No, we don't. Do you want your teachers to carry weapons?
No. Not a chance.
Did Brayden say sometimes?
No.
Movies?
No, not really. But it's hard trying to find different classes and stuff.
You're doing something, don't do it again.
You're mostly just trying to find your friends.
Well, but think about next year. None of you are nervous about going up to the high school building next year?
The only thing I'm nervous about is finding my class.
I'd be up there.
There's two.
So, hats, we are not allowed to wear hats or sunglasses. Bandanas are prohibited, and also our straps, they must be like two finger width, like it can't be less than that. Shorts, they must be like at least like mid-thigh length. We can wear any shoes we want, jewelry is fine, and scarves are obviously allowed, and we cannot show our bellies or our backs, that must be covered completely.
What about rules for boys?
For boys?
We can pretty much wear anything as long as we're not showing like too much skin or anything.
And there's rules about what can't you have on your shirts.
Inappropriate
swear words.
things.
Yeah.
Walk, walk, fashion, baby, work it, move that bit crazy. Walk, walk, fashion, baby, work it, move that bit crazy. Walk, walk, fashion, baby, work it, move that bit crazy. Walk, walk, work it, move that bit crazy. Walk, walk, fashion, baby, work it, move that bit crazy. Walk, walk, fashion, baby, work it, move that bit crazy. Walk, walk, passion, baby, work it, I'm a freak bitch.
Like overall, do you think your teachers are strict or do you think your teachers are friendly?
It's like in the middle.
In the middle,
It's like I have some that are strict, some that are completely amazing.
like me.
Sure.
My favorite holiday is Christmas because you get to decorate a tree and put it in your house and spend time with your family, then open a bunch of presents.
My favorite holiday is Halloween because you get to dress up in different costumes and go trick-or-treating, which means you get candy from other people's houses and ring the doorbell and say trick-or-treat, and then you get candy in your little pillowcase.
My favorite holiday is July 4th.
Thanksgiving. Christmas. Halloween.
Christmas.
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 Halloween.
Veterans Day, because my dad was in the Army for like 30 years.
Christmas!
If there's anything that we could change in our education system, it could definitely be learning more life skills rather than like book smarts and stuff like that, personally, I think.
Like what kind of life skills do you want to learn?
Things like how to pay for your mortgage, how to keep a stable job and income, how to sign a check, things as little as that.
Honestly, I think we should have more life skills classes, like to teach us how to cook and sew and iron and take care of ourselves for the future when we can't depend on the school system anymore.
Yeah, I agree with that because I feel like once we're done with once we're done with high school, it's like, what do we do now, that kind of thing.
How to like write our signatures because like when you're signing, like I have no idea how to write cursive, so I just do scribbles.
Yeah, there's not a lot of cursive anymore. I know that I did when I was in like elementary school, like I
Yeah.
learned how to do it, but like we kind of just dropped it, so we don't
Yeah.
really know how to do that. Or read it.
How nice is that handwriting up there?
Oh, so nice. I wish I had that handwriting.
So the way I would change it is instead of having like school part of the year and then like having breaks and stuff and having school all 5 days of the week, have school 3 days of the week and off 4 days of the week for the whole year.
It'd be cool if we learned how to write cursive and read it and everything.
Yeah, because your handwriting's terrible.
Yeah.
I think that the school week should be shorter, like a 4-day week and a 3-day weekend. And I also think that school should start later into the day so students aren't so sleep deprived.